tell you something. We built South Florida. People don't know that.
The marine industry is the backbone of Florida's economy.
It is a job-creating machine.
We spend millions and millions of dollars every year in the local economy.
There's some hard-working guys on the construction side of the marine industry. This is a great career and a lot of opportunity for everybody.
The economic impact of the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show is like having a Super Bowl every year.
It's not about yachts. It's not about boats. It's about jobs here in South Florida.
In Florida, water is our lifeblood, our currency. It's a tremendous draw. It's part of what drew me here and what keeps me here. Hi, I'm Jack Nicklaus, and I'm happy to talk about one of my favorite pastimes, boating. I've been fortunate to own boats for most of my adult life, and I love spending time on the water with my children, grandchildren, and friends. Here in the Sunshine State, boating is a critical part of our economy. We currently have more than 870,000 registered boats. That's more than any other state. But it's the economic value of recreational boating that is the real story. Over $10 billion annually and growing. None of this would be possible without our incredible natural resources.
The scope of what Florida really has to offer is over 1,300 miles of coastline, whether you're just going to the beach or you're on a boat traveling up the intercoastal or you're going fishing. There's so many different reasons why people want to come and enjoy our waters.
Look at the places that you can go by boat. You can be in total wilderness in the Everglades, or you can be at the best nightclub in the world in downtown Miami Beach.
We got the waterways, we got the docks, we got the ocean. In 50 minutes, you're in the Bahamas.
People don't always recognize that really boating is tourism. As those people come ashore, they're going out for dinner, they're shopping. That's money that continues to drive our economy, and it's an integral part of tourism.
Florida's boating industry's history runs deep. One of the pioneers of yachting was Commodore Ralph Monroe, the founder of the Biscayne Bay Yacht Club. Monroe was an early figure in the boating design and building industry. Some 125 years later, it's become one of the pillars of Florida's economy, home to about 170 boat builders.
What's great about Florida and the boat building business here, it's so diversified. Everything's here, from commercial boat building to recreational boat building, and everybody has their area of expertise.
Boat manufacturing in South Florida has a great story and a great past. Some very notable builders over the years, such as Broward Marine, which was located here in Fort Lauderdale. As you go farther north, you get Jim Smith Boats, American Custom Yachts. You have Maverick Marine. You have a host, Intrepid, Yellowfin.
We have Boston Whaler, and there's Everglades, and there's Contender, and of course, Seavey. We happen to be one of them here in Miami. We have over 100 employees here at CV, expert electricians, we have plumbers, we have skilled craftsmen in fiberglass and lamination. It's a broad area of expertise that's required to build a product like ours.
My job here at CV is to mount the motors with the boats. Transferring into the marine industry versus the auto industry was one of the biggest steps in my life. There's so many more job opportunities.
Florida is a boat-producing machine. We're growing, CV, and everybody that I know of in the industry is growing as well. So this represents something very positive, obviously, for the marine industry, but for the state of Florida in general.
It's hard not to have your head turned by the large yachts you see on the waterways of South Florida. But what is not so apparent are the jobs and businesses that these yachts create and support. That story is every bit as compelling as the yachts themselves.
This is the marine hub to the world. And so with that comes all the goods and services to this region. Current statistics that we just did by enacting a new Thomas Murray study that was last done in 2010 show the region, when I say the region, Palm Beach to Miami, $11.5 billion, 136,000 jobs. Broward County alone, $8.8 billion, 110,000 jobs.
Over the course of a year, we'll service over 100 boats, looking over the engines, doing a 1,000-hour service, cleaning the heat exchangers, charge air coolers, going through the turbos, inspecting all the cylinders. For us to come and work on these engines, it's a year-round job.
Marinas in South Florida are incredibly important to the local economy. This marina was 55 years old, and it was due for a complete renovation, and we did everything from the bulkheads to the electric to the infrastructure to the storm drains. Everything's brand new. We've employed roughly 700 people from beginning to end. There's some hardworking guys on the construction side of the marine industry.
I'm Bob Rosciola. We have a shipyard here in State Road 84. We've been in business just over 50 years now. We employ all kinds of trades. We have our electricians that are master electricians, all certified. We have carpenters that can build these fine yachts. We have the painters, which are some of the best in the world. The shipyards are what built Broward County. They all come here to get repaired. France, Italy, Greece, Colombia, the Northeast, the Midwest. We are the class of the world, and people don't know that. I wasn't college material. I worked physically for 25 years of sanding, grinding, and painting with my own hands. At the end of that job, when that boat left that marina, I look at that thing, that's a creation. That was more food for the soul and the mind than the money. So that's the opportunity you have to come in a shipyard. You apply 110%, you come in there heart and soul, mind, heart and soul, and you work with your hands, and you work hard, and you sweat, you're gonna succeed.
Andrew Doyle, Senior Vice President, Show Management. Show Management produces the finest boat shows in America, Palm Beach, Miami, St. Petersburg, and also Fort Lauderdale, which is the largest boat show in the world. The show gives local as well as international and national exhibitors a chance to showcase their products. It's a very labor-intensive show to set up. We've got 10,000 people working here during the show. We'll have over 800 boats of water, so the show becomes almost a principality within the city.
For us as a manufacturer, the boat shows are critical. They're really a highlight of our year. They attract a huge number of visitors from really all over the world. It has a massive impact.
Fort Lauderdale Boat Show has a higher economic impact than the Super Bowl. Every hotel is booked. Restaurants are incredibly busy. Taxis are busy. Everybody's ramped up for this boat show. There's no other show in the world that really covers the whole spectrum of the marine industry. So it's a great sense of pride for myself and everybody else at Show Management to produce the best boat show in the world.
There's a saying that two of the most important factors in the development of South Florida post-World War II were air conditioning and dredging. Dredging continues to be critically important to the economy of South Florida.
Getting to the marinas are very, very important. Waterways are arteries of the industry. We have to keep that depth. We can't keep that depth if we don't get the large boats. And we're working on that.
What's critical to maintain for the marine industry are the waterways. It provides safe haven for a lot of boats. All of the marinas are based on the waterways. So if we don't preserve our natural resources, we're dredging our waterways to keep the water depth sufficient to get the boats in and out, we won't be the state that we are today, the capital of boating.
We don't want to lose this fragile industry that we have. And it is very fragile. And everybody around the world wants our industry.
About 8 years ago, there were 19 boatyards in Fort Lauderdale. There's now 13. And what happens is the condo developers come in, so we compete with the condo developers for the land, and it's important that the locals protect the boatyards and the marine facilities to make sure that we still have the access to the water for the boaters.
We need to be conscious of different legislative actions that can hurt us, whether it's dredging, whether it's environmental issues. The other thing is we're comprised of 5,500 small businesses, so therefore it's hard to unify us sometimes when we've been taken for granted.
We're looking for people, and that's another big problem. We cannot get people going into the trade. Aren't they getting the message that we need workers down here in Fort Lauderdale?
It starts with the kids in high school now with training programs and stuff like that in the local schools where they're starting to get that at that age to realize this is a great career and a lot of opportunity for everybody.
I couldn't imagine Florida without a healthy marine industry. If we were to lose that unique advantage, it would be a real tragedy.
As we see our vessels, both recreationally and commercial vessels, grow in complexity and size, having properly trained operators, properly trained owners is becoming increasingly more important to us.
MPT has been teaching mariners since 1983 in all aspects of the maritime industry.
If there's a job on board a vessel, whether it's a water taxi, a tugboat, a super yacht, a cruise liner, or an oil tanker, that position you can train for here at MPT.
I am as green as they come. I'm doing my STCW class at MPT. The industry attracts me because it's an opportunity to travel and kind of have a new adventure in life.
Everything from medical and firefighting classes to navigation classes. We'll train over 10,000 people this year. So our students can come through training, get their education, get a job very often right out of the classroom. Having those people operating out of South Florida, out of one of our ports, is the future.
I love the boating industry. It's an exciting business to be in. Boat's unique in bringing the family together. Everybody loves to go out on the boat.
Hey, I love my career. I thank God every day that I get up every morning and I can do this job I'm doing today.
The marine industry in Florida has a great story to tell. Not only does it provide fun, healthy family recreation, but also creates thousands of jobs. The future is bright and the opportunity is strong if all of us pull together to capture the tremendous potential that these great waters of ours have to offer. I'm Jack Nicklaus. Thanks for watching.
You